They didn't vanish, they burrowed. 8 months beneath Rafah, Hamas fighters moved through the earth like ghosts, surfacing only to strike, then melting back into the dark. Pre-stocked tunnels, ambush rotations, hostage handovers, a war fought below the war. But how do you crush an enemy you can't see? Hamas fighters eliminated in Rafah this week spent 8 months underground in tunnel networks, moving between subterranean hideouts and surface ambushes whilst maintaining contact with their commanders. The Saudi newspaper Asharq Al-Awsat reported on December 3rd that the fighters continued operating even as Israeli forces controlled areas above ground, with some participating in hostage releases during temporary ceasefires. Hamas sources told the Saudi newspaper the fighters spent most of the war underground despite incursions into tunnel networks they utilized.
Days after the war resumed and diplomatic efforts to achieve another ceasefire failed, Hamas's military wing militants returned to Rafah through the tunnels and returned to their positions above ground.
The revelations came as footage emerged from Qatar showing senior Hamas figures gathering to mourn Abdullah Hamad, son of political bureau member Razi Hamad, who was killed by the IDF after barricading himself in the Rafah tunnel system. The video showed Razi Hamad alongside Khalil al-Hayya, Khaled Mashal and Musa Abu Marzouk. Among those eliminated was Tawfiq Salam, commander of the Nukba unit in Eastern Rafah. The deputy commander of the Eastern Rafah Battalion, Ismail Abu Labeda, was present at the handover of Avraham Mengistu and was involved in the 2014 kidnapping of Hadar Golden. Battalion Commander Muhammad al-Bawab was also killed in the operations. During the first ceasefire in November 2023, the Hamas fighters emerged above ground before returning underground when fighting resumed. The report added that they alternated between periods in the tunnels and surface operations, moving between ambushes whilst maintaining communication with leadership until a second ceasefire in January lasted until March 18th. According to the Hamas sources, despite Israeli military deployment in Rafah, Hamas fighters managed to reach the surface, travel to Khan Yunis, contact commanders and conduct meetings. Some even participated in releasing Israeli hostages, including Avraham Mengistu in February. The underground networks were prepared in advance and stocked with food and water supplies. Hamas maintained a division of labor amongst the fighters, with some engaged in supply operations, others in ambush roles, and some moving between groups whilst maintaining direct contact with operational command.
The tunnels were prepared and pre-stocked with food and water.
The footage from Qatar showed possible shrapnel damage, indicating it may have been filmed in a house targeted by Israeli forces in Doha. Abdullah Hamad was active in Hamas's military wing and had graduated from the organization's military college before the war. He was killed alongside his cousin Ahmed Saeed Hamad. The disclosures provide insight into how Hamas maintained operations in Rafah throughout extended Israeli ground operations, utilizing pre-positioned supplies and coordinated movement between underground and surface positions whilst preserving command structures despite sustained military pressure.